Hi there, hope you're doing well. My name is Devansh and I'm the lead tutor at Finntutors. So for those who are new on the channel, we create valuable CIMA content, and Finntutors has recently been awarded the Global Pass Rate Excellence Award for 2022, which CIMA has given to only 5 other tuition providers in the entire world. I say this because this will add a lot of further credibility to our material, and it provides confidence that the material that we present adds value, the material that we present gives results, and students are just enjoying the material and making sure they pass their exam. So I welcome you to this Preseen Analysis Part 1 video, where we are going to run you through each part of the Preseen one by one, showcasing you what a detailed Preseen can do in terms of adding value to your preparation. So we will be giving you insights into E1, P1 and F1 important topics. We will be learning about our company, and we will be ensuring that we gain so much insight that when we start writing a mock question, we know all the details, we know the ins, we know the outs of our company Tracks Europe. So I welcome you to this Preseen. Our entire Preseen analysis is close to 3 hours long and 65 pages on a PDF file. This is only the first part of the Preseen, so you'll get a glimpse into our study method, our study system, our study pattern, and how comprehensive our material is, because of which eventually students are passing the exams. So in our Preseen, we'll highlight important topics of E1, P1 and F1 like I said, but students that choose to sign up with us will be taking mock questions on those topics. We'll be taking personally marked mock questions on those topics, which they will really be able to then benefit from, because important topics highlighted, you're learning about them, and then you're getting your answers marked on them. There is a high possibility that those questions come up in the exam. So that's about the Preseen. And as a team, Finntutors is always thinking how we can help students further. So we have developed a free case study mini course for you. It's absolutely free. It helps you with a whole lot of comprehensive material. The free mini course has introduction to the exam, vital skills you need for the exam. It gives you the industry analysis video. It has a blueprint explanation video. It has important topic or important concept explanations of E1, P1 and F1. For example, variances, explain. LPP, explain. It has a free mini mock with personalized marking and feedback, and lots of other bonus material which will really be valuable for your preparation. It's a free mini course. The link is in the description below. Just click the description box and you'll find a link. Simply click on it, and it's a very self-explanatory process. It's a free mini course, free material which will help you prepare in a directed way for this exam. There is lots of bonus material, and again, we are registered tuition providers. We have been accredited with the Global Pass Rate Excellence Award. So rest assured, anything that comes from us, it will be well founded. It will be one that has been worked on. It is with a whole lot of time and commitment that we have created this course, which will definitely help you. And it's free. Give it a chance. See if you like it. If you like it, it will definitely enhance your preparation for this exam, and it may give you lots of insights, lots of important areas which you may be missing out on, or easier ways to study which you may be missing out on. So why take that chance? The link is in the description below. Click it and access the free mini course. You are 100% going to find it useful. Coming back to Preseen Analysis Part 1, without wasting any further time, let us begin. Before we move on, we need to speak about the context of this Preseen. Now, CIMA is aware that there has been and remains a significant amount of change globally. This Preseen and its associated exams, which means all the Preseen scenario and this fictitious company and this fictitious world that they have created, are set in a context where current and ongoing global issues have not had an impact, which means they're assuming that the world is working like it was, like it should, specifically considering before the COVID-19 pandemic or before the Russia-Ukraine war. Keeping in mind the global issues have not had an impact. So they've set this company in a world or in a situation where there is free trade of people, goods, services, everything is moving as it should. So keep this in mind while you are studying the pre-scene with me and while you are presenting your answers when you do mock questions with me or when you eventually take the final exam as well. Marks will be given to you for valid arguments. Answers that make relevant references to current affairs will be given marks, but you cannot create exemptions, but you cannot create restrictions through your thought process because of global issues. So my suggestion to all of my students is simply know that there is free movement of goods, people, services in this case study scenario and when you are taking the case study exam. Moving on, in this pre-scene, what we have done is we have taken the actual pre-scene that CIMA has released. We have taken it, replicated it, and then added in our own suggestions, our own linkages to the E1, P1 and F1 syllabus, our own text boxes like the one that you can see on screen, our own insights, which we will run you through one by one. So my pre-scene document, my pre-scene analysis is all that you need. You do not need anything else. You do not need anything extra, any extra analysis, because everything has been thought upon by us and then we have created this pre-scene for your use. So simply follow me, simply be with me and you will see that you are having an enlightened experience at learning about our company, which is Trax Europe. So they always start the operational case study pre-scene by giving us our role, helping you understand what your role is. So you are a finance officer working within the finance department of Trax Europe. Anywhere I see an important word or an important line or an important suggestion, I will try to highlight it and then I will try to explain it as well, as you can see over here. So finance officer is something that I found important here because when we did the introduction to the operational case study exam, in my introduction video itself, I tell students the role of a finance officer. If you've missed it, please view my introduction to the OCS exam video, where you will have a complete understanding of what the exam structure is like, pattern is like, and what your role is. But because we are jumping into the pre-scene and we saw something important, I will obviously relate it. So finance officer in general situations must help with short-term decisions, working capital, cash flow related decisions, budget related, help, providing financial analysis help. You will see that all the jobs are that of lower level decision making, where you don't really have to make any decisions. You have to support the decisions. You have to supplement the decisions by providing your insight. Because operational level is the lower level day-to-day dealings of the organization. So that is what the finance officer is involved with. And you see the trick over here. Any of the topics that you pick up from here in this list, you pick any topic, it will have a relation to your E1, P1 and F1 syllabus. Working capital F1, variance P1, costing P1. This tells us that for you to be a good finance officer, you will have to showcase good E1, good P1, good F1 knowledge, specifically P1 knowledge. Otherwise, how will you fulfill the role of a finance officer? So the role of a finance officer can be fulfilled if you have good knowledge of E1, P1 and F1, which I have mentioned from the very, very beginning. So revision is our starting point. Let's move on. You are principally involved in the preparation of management accounting information and providing information to managers to assist with decision making. So when I speak about management accounting, when I speak about decision making, straight relation to my P1 syllabus. So if you are involved in the preparation of providing information, accounting information, decision making, if you don't have the P1 knowledge, you won't be able to be a good finance officer. And eventually you won't be able to write a good answer. So eventually you won't get good marks and eventually you won't pass the exam. So the starting point is revision. At times, you are also expected to assist with the preparation of financial statements and answer queries relating to financial reporting. So this is again straight F1 syllabus. This is the relation to your F1 syllabus over here, because everything related to finance, everything related to financing is straight from F1. So your F1 revision is also important. For any case study exam, it will be important to immerse yourself into the details of this company, as only then you will be able to present answers that are specific for your company. Which means knowing your company is the starting point. Knowing ins and outs of your company, of what Trax Europe is, which you will eventually learn because of this entire Preseen analysis with me, is very, very important. And these are your business skills, business acumen, which we will be enhancing by giving you a very detailed Preseen analysis. But for that, you will have to follow me. You will have to pay attention to my explanations and obviously pay attention to revision as well. Next, we move on to company background. They explained our role, where you will only be able to be a good finance officer if you have good E1, P1 and F1 knowledge. We've learned that. Now we are going on to company background. So background of Trax Europe. Now Trax Europe is a company that manufactures and sells tractors used for agricultural purposes. Now you've already done the industry analysis with me, so you know what the agricultural tractors market is like. You know what the market segmentation is like in terms of the power of tractors. You know where agricultural tractors are being sold the most, where the growth is. With all of that in mind, when you start this Preseen now, it makes a lot of sense. Otherwise, you're directly going into the Preseen and you read this line, you're like, okay. But now it's making more sense because you've done the industry analysis with me. So for those who have not done the industry analysis, please do that first and then come to the Preseen, because the Preseen will make more sense in that way. So Trax Europe is a company that manufactures and sells tractors used for agricultural purposes. So agricultural tractors only. You are a manufacturing organization, very clear. So this tells us that topics related to manufacturing, to the zone of manufacturing in your E1, P1 and F1 syllabus become more important. So when you are doing your E1, P1 and F1 syllabus, the topics like total quality management, just in time, supplier relations, anything related to manufacturing become more important, and they can be tested because you are a manufacturing organization. And we'll obviously be discussing these important topics throughout the Preseen, but from the onset, I'm giving you hints. The company is based in Thailand, a country in Europe. So they've created a fictional country called Thailand, and it's situated in Europe, which has the T dollars as its currency. So currency is T dollars. Now, one very interesting insight that I see over here is that we are situated in Europe. We are part of a country called Thailand, which is part of Europe. Now, you pick any major country in Europe, it will be considered as a developed economy. So, Trax Europe is located in a developed economy. So, it opens up advantages of all characteristics of a developed economy. which means advantages such as better infrastructure, highly skilled workforce, and customers having the spending power becomes some of the characteristics which we must keep in mind because you are part of a developed economy. So isn't this a good thing for my company that I have good infrastructure, good government regulations, strong government regulations, highly skilled workforce, and customers have the spending power? Also, because it's a developed economy, there will be good high regulations, there will be high factors of production, high salaries. So everything goes hand in hand, but I want to keep this in mind that this is my eventuality, this is my situation. So from this we also understand that Thailand is a developed economy, which means people will have the interest and money to spend on innovative and technologically developed agricultural tractors. Also, the trend and culture will be such that people will be used to this kind of agricultural support. Because if you go to Europe and you visit any fields, you'll see very less manual labor. You'll see lots and lots of tractors, you'll see lots and lots of equipment. So it's a good thing for my company that I'm situated in a country where demand is going to be good. So segmentation and external market analysis will become important over here. Looking at different external markets, segmenting the market to see where my product will sell the most, where my tractors for agricultural purpose will sell the most, is important to look at. External market analysis is also very important because you want to learn what your external market is like. You want a deeper analysis into what your external market is like, so you can figure out where, when, and how your tractors can be sold. External market segmentation is part of your E1 syllabus, and that is why I have brought it up over here. So you see, from a very simple line like situated in Europe, okay, you could have just looked at it and overlooked it and moved on. But no, studying with a tuition provider and studying with somebody who has the experience will ensure that you look at these nitty-gritties and try to develop understanding from it, try to develop relation topics of E1, P1, F1 from it, and eventually use this information when you start writing mock questions. Tractors are manufactured at the company's production facility. So we are a production company, obviously we are producing tractors, but they're manufactured at our production facility in Thailand and sold throughout Europe. So Thailand is a country in Europe. You are producing in Thailand and selling throughout Europe. So over here, it's very obvious that you are selling throughout Europe. So you might have sales in different currencies that you will have to look at, because not every country in Europe is using the euro. For example, Thailand is using T dollars, correct? So even if other countries in Europe are using euros, it's a different currency to the T dollars. So currency differences is something that we will have to keep in mind, and this has been briefly dealt with in our E1 and F1 syllabus. No details, because that comes in the MCS and the SCS level, but because it's something that's been mentioned and is very obvious, I'm speaking it out to you. Also, we have our own production facility, so inventory problems, scheduling problems, working capital problems, labor management, variances will all be regular occurrences, because no matter how well you have set your production system, there are problems which can be out of your control, which have to be dealt with, which occur on a daily basis. Now, all of these topics that I mentioned are straight from your P1 and F1 syllabus. And as you will see, at every stage, we will keep linking to important topics of E1, P1, and F1. So these can become important revision areas for you as we prepare for mock questions as well. The most important topics and the top issues will be ones that we will create mock questions on, and then we will test you on them. But while going through the pre-scene, also we will list out the topics. Trax Europe is a wholly owned subsidiary of Agri. So now comes a very different, I'll say, very different inclusion that they made in the operational level for the first time. A leading global manufacturer and seller of a range of agricultural equipment, including tractors, combine harvesters, trailers, and plows. So Trax Europe is a wholly owned subsidiary of Agri. So to give you our company structure, the parent is Agri. Agri owns 100% of another company called Trax Europe. So Trax Europe becomes the subsidiary company over here. Agri as a whole is a leading global manufacturer and seller of a range of agricultural equipment. Trax Europe only sells tractors, but Agri as a whole sells tractors, combine harvesters, trailers, plows. So we are part of a group which is very well known and is a leading group in the agricultural equipment industry. So this is one competitive advantage for my business, that I am part of a group which is a global company and which is well recognized. Agri is based in North America and was founded in 1860 by Charles Burdage. You can see how old the company is. Agri initially manufactured plows and other farm equipments designed to be pulled by teams of horses or oxen, like the traditional way agriculture used to work. Agri launched its first engine-powered tractor in North America in 1920. If you look at it logically, the company was founded in 1860. So roughly the entire Agri group has been in business for 163 years. More than a century, closing to 2 centuries. So it's a company that is well known globally. Do you know any company in the world that has survived for 150 plus years and is not famous and is not one which is successful? It's impossible. And in our case, it's such an old company. It's a leading global manufacturer, they have told us. And Trax Europe is part of this group. So automatically, we will have garnered a set of loyal customers, a good brand image, goodwill, which is my competitive advantage. Now, all of this that I'm stating for you, all of this that I'm mentioning over for you is important ideas you can keep with you and then use when you go to mock question writing. This is not just an exercise where we are highlighting stuff as and when we like. It is something which you can use when we go to mock question writing. For example, when you are starting to write a mock question, even in the exam, if you're writing a question, you can start your answer by saying, our Agri group has been in the market for over 163 years, which means we will have good market insight. And then blah, 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 whatever you want to write related to the question, whatever you want to write in respect of the question, you can then move on. But when you start an answer in this way, the examiner knows that this student has gone through the pre-scene. This student has spent time on the pre-scene. This will give you your integration marks. This will give you your business skill marks. And that is why I go through the pre-scene in so much detail with you. Agri has numerous subsidiaries. So this in the pre-scene was given as a very bland paragraph. I changed it into something that is more understandable in terms of boxes. So I'm sure you'll find it helpful. Now, Agri has numerous subsidiaries. Trax Europe is only one of those subsidiaries. So, the numerous subsidiaries they have, some of which manufacture and sell finished products. So, some of which sell tractors, like Trax Europe, harvesters, trailers, and farming equipment. On the other hand, some subsidiaries make components and sub-assemblies, such as tractor cabs. So, some manufacture and sell finished products. Some subsidiaries make components and sub-assemblies, such as tractor cabs. Now, what is a tractor cab? The place where the person sits and drives the tractor is called the tractor cab. The basic purpose of a tractor cab is to provide a comfortable environment for the operator and to protect him from vibrations and the noise. So where he's sitting and driving the tractor from is called a tractor cab. So Agri has two kinds of subsidiaries. One which manufacture and sell the finished products, final products. The other which make and sell components and sub-assemblies. There are two subsidiaries which manufacture and sell tractors. Now specifically speaking about tractors. Trax Europe, based in Thailand, is serving the European sales market. Entire sales in Europe comes under Trax Europe, which is our company. I am working for Trax Europe as a finance officer. Always remember that. Second tractor manufacturer is Trax America, based in North America, serving the sales markets in America. So it says Americas, which means the North America part, Australia, New Zealand, and some parts of Asia. They are only saying parts of Asia. So there are two companies under Agri which make and sell tractors. Trax Europe, serving the European market. Trax America, serving America, Australia, New Zealand, and parts of Asia. Straight my light bulb has to go to the industry analysis. In the industry analysis, very clearly we've done a geographical segmentation where it was very clear that Asia Pacific is the largest market with growth opportunities. Largest market share and largest growth opportunities as well. So Trax America is only selling to parts of Asia. So can Trax Europe, or does Trax Europe have the chance to expand into parts which Trax America is not currently servicing? It can be an opportunity for us to grow our sales, right? So to increase our sales at Trax Europe, can we be the first to come up with a plan to capture other parts of the Asian market which is not serviced by Trax America? That can be something that comes to our mind, the mind of a management. You further raise it with Agri, and if you get the go ahead, you can raise the sales of your company. So something that again we can only come up with because we have done our industry analysis. Trax Europe was set up in 1960. So the Agri group is 163 years old. Trax Europe is 63 years old, but still 63 years in the European market means that you have done something good. You've done something which the customers like. Customers are buying from you, and you are obviously you have the brand of a global manufacturer called Agri behind you, and that is why the company has been successful so far. Trax Europe does not sell directly to the end users of its tractors, who are mostly farmers. So you don't sell directly to the farmers. Farmers don't come to your shop and buy. Sales are made to dealers throughout Europe, who then sell to the end user, which means you don't have your own retail shops or retail outlets or dealerships, whatever you want to call it. You have relationships with dealers all over Europe. The farmer or the buyer will come to the retailer's shop, will come to the dealer's shop, buy your tractor from there. So the farmers or the customers have no direct relation with Trax Europe. So sales are made to dealers throughout Europe, who then sell it to the end user. So direct selling to other retailers, showcasing a B2B nature, sold from one business to another business. Your main relation is with the dealership. So let's make a thought or a comparison of B2B and B2C. Now B2B is what our business model is right now, where you have less marketing costs because you don't really have to market. The dealership relationship is the major part of the business. The volume order will be high, the value will be high, you have low customer acquisition cost and loyalty benefits as well because you have long-standing relationships. B2C on the other hand, if for example There was a scenario where Trax Europe opened up one dealership in Teeland, for example, to start with. What could be the benefits of a business to consumer relationship? What could be the benefits of a business to consumer dealership that we now open? You'll have access to direct customer data. You'll have a good customer experience where you are in direct feedback with the customer as well. It has low cost in some cases because of I'll say the input of e-commerce as well, because of the reduction of infrastructure cost because of e-commerce. If you open up your own dealership and then you have your own website where these tractors can be looked at and then maybe place an order online as well, which is not very common in the tractor industry, but it's one thing that we can think of, one innovation that we can think of. It has a large customer base, and B2C is one business model that is really booming because you have direct relation with the customer, so the middleman, which is the dealership, is removed. All in all, both have their own benefits, both have their own disadvantages, which we have briefly discussed over here. This is just for you to keep in mind that, okay, right now I have a B2B business. If there is a scenario of B2C, I should not be blank. I should have ideas in my mind, and that is why we have listed these down for you. Moving on, Trax Europe has a sales team which develop and maintain relationships with a large network of dealers across Europe. So obviously this sales team will be a very important part of your business, because if the relation with dealers is not good, dealers will not want to sell your tractor and they might sell the tractor of another company, which is a huge loss for you, right? So relationship management with the dealer network in Europe will be very, very important. Relationship management is in your E1 syllabus. Also, these dealerships become an important stakeholder group for you because they are very important in my business cycle, right? This brings in the topic of stakeholder management as well, stakeholder priority as well. Again, straight E1 syllabus. So at every stage, you can see how the links are being made to ensure that we do not miss out on important parts and important things that they have mentioned. All of the tractors that Trax Europe sell are large tractors for agricultural use. By large tractors, what they mean and what we will see deeper into the pre-scene is that these are tractors with a high engine capacity, over 100 horsepower. If you see my industry analysis, you will see that the major market is for tractors, the major market share is for small tractors and tractors with a lower horsepower ratio, which is mentioned in the industry analysis very clearly. But large tractors will obviously have their own audience, which is a niche. So our company Trax Europe is selling large tractors, but for agricultural use. Now we learned in our industry analysis also that tractors can be used for agricultural as well as non-agricultural purposes like bulldozing, scraping, digging, transporting of people, pulling equipment for very many different industries. So can we modify our tractors to expand our product offering? Should we continue to sell agricultural use tractors only? Can we modify them a little bit and start selling more generic tractors as well so they can be used for different purposes? And automatically this increases my market share. This increases the chance of customer buying my product. So firstly, large tractors as opposed to small tractors are being sold. Secondly, agricultural tractors are being sold as opposed to non-agricultural tractors. So to increase my product offering, I can look at introducing a small tractor range or a tractor range with a lower horsepower engine, or I can look at introducing tractors for non-agricultural purposes as well. Now, if for example, in the exam, there is a scenario relating to product offering or new product innovation or any product development, anything like that, you can start or you can end your answer by saying, according to me, we should look at introducing a small tractor range or tractors for non-agricultural purposes as well, as this is the trend in the market. If you are to include something like this, just one line, and you've already done that with me in the pre-scene, automatically the examiner knows that this student has studied the pre-scene. This student has done a deep dive into the pre-scene. Your integration marks, your business skill marks will really showcase over here. So I'm not doing this pre-scene just because, I want to analyze the company. Yes, that's one very important reason. But I'm also doing it so you have great ideas and you can use them when you go to mock question writing. Also, an exam question revolving around this situation is likely, where expansion can lead to capital requirement needs, F1 syllabus, property, plant and equipment management, property, plant and equipment recognition, F1 IS 16, product planning, production planning, inventory planning, P1 syllabus. So when they speak about expansion, and when you are, if an expansion scenario comes up, they can be like, we've bought a new machine. How do I record it? IS 16. You will have, there are no sums. There is no sum solving as part of the pre-scene, as part of the case study, sorry. But you are expected to provide explanations. That is why the topics that I highlight are important. Moving on. These are manufactured at the company's production facility located in the west of Teeland. We already know this. We have our own production facility. Manufacturing for us is largely an assembly process, starting with the engines which are built from scratch and ending with the final tractor assembly. Now, because we are a group of companies, obviously we will look to buy things internally, which means one of Agri's subsidiaries is making tractor cabs. So in our pre-scene deeper also, they'll tell us that the tractor cabs are purchased from this subsidiary itself. So for us, because we are a group, manufacturing becomes an assembly process as well. A single production facility, deeper into the pre-scene also, we'll realize that we have one production facility. Meaning we are reliant on one production unit, one production line to run all the production or assembly functions. What if there is a stoppage? What if there is a delay? What if there is a machine malfunction on that one production line? There can be, issues of meeting the demand. So again, expansion can be something that is on the cards for our company. We also need to start to think about benefits and limitations of having one single centralized unit here. Can this site continue to meet the demand as we continue to grow? If, for example, you are to introduce small tractors for non-agricultural use, will this site be able to meet that demand? If not, expansion scenario is really something that can be tested. And expansion can be related to any topic, like I said, production planning, IS 16 recognition, variance analysis, capital requirement. I'm listing the topics for you. You will have to revise them. Now, when we make any production related decisions, it will again very important to take into account only relevant costs. So again, expansion relation, you can have relevant costing question as well. So when we're speaking about relevant costs, there can be a scenario where we are looking at expansion, which are the costs which are relevant, which are not relevant. Relevant costing is a straight relation to your P1 syllabus. Also, rather than making some of our elements in-house, we can look at a make versus buy decision in this scenario. For example, should I make these particular, this particular engine capacity, or should I buy it from elsewhere, assemble it and then sell it in my tractor? Again, relevant costing part of P1 syllabus. So at every stage, we will keep giving you scenarios and we will keep giving you ideas which then you will have to revise and you will have to pay attention to. Trax Europe buys in raw material, parts, components, and sub-assemblies from a variety of suppliers, including other group companies. Like I told you, because we have a group of companies who are making parts, who are making tractor cabs, it is only wise to buy from them. So we buy the raw materials, parts, and components. Now, obviously, when you are buying any kind of raw material from outside, it will and can lead to a group of variances like your material variance, material price variance, material usage variance, whatever. And it is a topic that is often tested, and that is why I need to mention it. P1 syllabus, all the variances are very important. What the variance means, how the variance might have occurred, so reasons for the variance occurring, straight has been given in your P1 syllabus. The variance is a very, very important topic. Also, they say that we buy internally as well. So if you are buying internally from our group companies, then transfer pricing becomes an important topic here. You have not been given any huge details on transfer pricing in the E1 and F1 syllabus, but it's important that you know what the transfer pricing concept is. Transfer pricing generally occurs when a group company is buying from another group company, because eventually both of them are part of agri, right? So transfer pricing becomes an eventuality here. Also, because we are speaking about transfer pricing, taxation needs to be looked at, because transfer pricing and tax avoidance for multinational companies is often scrutinized. So what these multinational companies do is, or what these global companies do is, they'll have various subsidiaries, right? Each subsidiary is buying from each other. One subsidiary is buying from another. Like in our case, we are buying the tractor cabs from elsewhere. We are buying components from elsewhere, which is another group company itself. So what agri or any other multinational company would generally do is, they would showcase a high profit for the company that is situated in a low tax rate economy. And they will showcase a lower profit in the company that is situated in a high tax rate country. Why? Because eventually the entire group will end up paying less tax. Eventually it's a group, right? Eventually all companies are owned by agri. So to reduce their tax, what they'll do is they'll show a higher profit in the company which is situated in a country with a lower tax rate. Let's say X country has 10% tax rate. So there I'll show 10 million profit. Y country I will show has a higher tax rate. Let's say 20% tax rate. I'll show my profit as only 5%. And how can this profit be shown? By buying those goods which are being bought and sold internally. They'll adjust the price of that good. Which means if the tractor cab is $100, and they want to show a high profit in the other country, they'll sell it only for $50. It's internal, right? It's internal, so they can charge any price that they want. But this is done to reduce the tax. And this is why transfer pricing is really scrutinized for multinational companies. Ethically, and it's not wrong, but ethically the rules are such where certain countries are trying to prevent this. And because this is a scenario which has been raised in the Preseen, it's very important for me to mention it to you. No details of this are asked in the OCS. This is for the MCS and SCS level. But right now, because they have mentioned this, and the transfer pricing topic and the taxation topics and the double taxation topics are part of your F1 syllabus, I'm discussing this for you. So pay attention to this. This is important. If you need, we give it to you as a video recorded explanation, right? Because we are giving it to you as a video recorded explanation, you have the opportunity to play, pause, go back if you want, listen to my explanation again. and it will surely sink in. Now they are also mentioning that we buy from various suppliers. So because we are buying from various suppliers means we are buying from more than one. So a discussion on single sourcing versus multi-sourcing should be made over here. Pause the video, 2 minutes, think. Single sourcing, couple advantages, couple disadvantages. Multi-sourcing, couple advantages, couple disadvantages. I will obviously be discussing this with you further, but right now I want you to think. I want you to take a pause and I want you to think so that you're also exercising and you're not just a passenger on this pre-seen explanation train. So pause and think. Then move on. So for the year ended 31st December 2022, Trax Europe manufactured and sold 31,150 tractors in Europe, which is a good healthy number. The revenue was $2,990 million T$. Not a small company. The gross margin of 25.9% and operating margin of 8.7% was seen. Healthy margin numbers as well. And it had an average of 4,120 employees. So it is very evident that we are a large company. It's not a small company. So for a large manufacturing organization, setting challenges and valid KPIs is vital. So I'm raising exam scenarios for you over here. Setting challenging and valid KPIs is vital. E1 syllabus. Focusing on quality, very, very important. E1 syllabus. Proper employee management and a robust HR system is key. So E1 syllabus. Having a strong costing and control system is key. Otherwise, how will you showcase these good high margins that we have? P1 syllabus. Proper budgeting is important. P1 syllabus. Managing the tax policy, like we spoke about, F1 syllabus, important. Managing your receivables, your payables in the overall working capital cycle is also very important. F1 syllabus. Now these are all scenarios which can be tested on the exam, and how they will be tested we'll show you when we go to our mock questions, but first you will have to revise them. All of these explanations that I'm giving are important for you to further understand the need for a very detailed pre-seen analysis. It's not that I like to speak so I keep speaking. This is important, this is value, and that is why I explain it in so much detail. Moving on, we are speaking about the tractor industry, the global market. So as part of this pre-seen, they have given us a brief industry analysis. Guess what? I have already done my industry analysis even before starting the pre-seen. So you'll be in a good situation. You'll be in a situation where you already know this, but it'll be kind of a revision for you with some specific insights, obviously. The global tractor market was worth 66 billion in 2022 and is expected to grow at an average of 4.2%. So the trajectory is the same, large market and good growth. This market can be split into two types: agricultural tractors, which are typically large and designed for heavy duty agricultural work, and mini tractors used for landscaping and grass cutting purposes. So they're also telling us that tractors have various uses. We know that. So a very big market with new opportunities every day. If you want to grow, you will have to look at evolving and growing market segments as well. Geographical expansion or product expansion, both of which we have spoken of up until now, can be seen as the next step if you want to keep growing. The growth in tractor sales is expected to be driven by increasing farm mechanization and automation in some parts of the world. We know this from the industry analysis. In other parts of the world, there is increasing demand for smart tech and alternative power sources for tractors, which means not only gas-based tractors, electric-based tractors as well. So in these markets, there is also an increasing demand for compact and mini tractors for landscaping and grass cutting. So tractors are being used for other uses as well. So firstly, the growth is because of mechanization, automation, people moving to urban locations. So more automation needed because of shortage of labor. Fourth, smart tech tractors are being preferred. Alternative power sources of tractors are being preferred. And sixth, compact and mini tractors are also being preferred. These are all growth avenues. These are all areas which are growing. These are all areas which you can look at. These are all areas where our company can expand. That is why I am mentioning them for you, and it has been highlighted in the industry analysis as well. The global market for agricultural tractors is dominated by 5 large global specialist agricultural equipment companies which manufacture and sell the full range of agricultural equipment. In our industry analysis as well, we have seen that this is a consolidated market where 4, 5, 6 players are dominating the market because they have a huge global presence. Because making tractors is not easy, right? Tomorrow I'll wake up and I want to set up a factory to make tractors. Is it possible? It's not possible. Huge manual labor, huge infrastructure, huge amount of money, huge amount of experience is needed. And 5 major players have dominated this market. That is what they've told us for this agricultural equipment. And they make the full range of agricultural equipment, including tractors, combine harvesters, trailers, and plows. Obviously, our company Agri is part of this group. Our company Agri is one of these 5 large global specialist agricultural equipment companies. So new product launches, partnerships, acquisitions are the major strategies being adopted by leading companies in this global market, which is evidenced in my industry analysis as well. For those who missed the industry analysis, please go through it. It's available in our mini course and in any of the courses that you've chosen to sign up on with us. Industry analysis is the starting point. So competition is going to be fierce because these 5 huge brands are all over the world. They're competing with each other. So how you stay ahead of them with the help of new product launches, with the help of partnerships, with the help of acquisitions is going to be your competitive advantage. And I've given you very many growth opportunities in this market up until now, and I'll continue to do that in the Preseen. Construction equipment global companies also manufacture and sell agricultural tractors. But for such businesses, this is often secondary to their main business of construction equipment. So you have competition from these other 4 leading manufacturers, plus you have competition from other companies who also make tractors as their secondary business. Some, but not all of the manufacturers of agricultural tractors also manufacture and sell compact and mini tractors. Not everybody is doing this. This market though is dominated by specialist small mechanical equipment manufacturers. So tomorrow if you decide to sell compact or mini tractors, you will still have competition from small equipment manufacturers. We are a company that manufactures and sells large agricultural tractors. Just note that, remember that. But product expansion, geographical expansion is on the cards. The power and specification of agricultural tractors sold varies considerably across the world, influenced by the nature of farming. If you have hilly farming, if your tractor has to go upwards, obviously you will need a high powered tractor. So it depends on the nature of farming. For example, the agricultural tractors sold in North America and Western Europe tend to be larger and have higher specifications. Those sold in Asia have lower specifications. So are we catering to both? Do we have an opportunity to expand? Your mind should be thinking on these possibilities. Moving on, we speak about the tractor industry, the European market for agricultural tractors. So focus now. In 2022, there were 155,000 agricultural tractors sold across Europe. Now, if you look at it in 2022, what did our company sell? Let's make a quick analysis by simply going up. I want to show you the numbers. You manufactured and sold 31,150 tractors. How many were sold? A total of 155,000. So 155,000, roughly you hold 20% of this market. So if you hold 20% of this market, which means the other 80% somebody else has captured, or some other companies have captured, some other companies are looking at, some other companies are expanding on, some other companies are innovating to capture this market. So you have the opportunity to further penetrate. You have the opportunity to increase your sales. But how? Why? When? New products? Geographical diversification. What do you think works best for your company? That is something we will have to think over here. So market share based on volume has been given over here. G Tractors has 24%, Lands Tracks has 22%, Tracks Europe 20%. And then there are other manufacturers which they have stated. But your major competitors will be G Tractors, Land Tracks, Potters, Brams Tractors. These are the 5 major I'll say competition that you have. See, over here you can remember the name of you can remember the name of some of the tractors manufacturers, and then use it when the time comes. Then use it when the case study scenario comes up. For example, writing something on competition, include the name of G Tractors. Say that before our competitors G Tractors look at this market or look at this opportunity, we should capitalize on it. By just including that one word, that one line, examiner will know that this person has studied the Preseen. It adds value to your preparation. Now, the situation that we spoke about, we have 3-4 major competitors. So the situation that we see in this diagram or in this graph, pie chart, will be called brand competition. Because everybody is making the same tractors, everybody is selling to the same customers. The only difference is brands. On your tractors, Tracks Europe is written. On somebody else's tractors, G Tracks is written, or whatever the company's name is. So brand competition can be defined as the rivalry between companies offering same line of products to the same target market and to the same target audience. So obviously, there is going to be good amount of competition. You will have to innovate. You will have to be different. You will have to do something new if you want the customer to buy your tractor. So this is the brief industry analysis that they have given us as part of the Preseen. You can see that it was so brief. In my industry analysis, we've covered way more which is relevant and which is valuable. And that is why I say our direction that we give is well tried, well trusted. We get the results, and that is why we have achieved the Global Excellence Pass Rate Award in 2022 as well. It's not for any reason. It's because the results are seen. Next, we move to extracts from the Tracks Europe website. So they're saying that Tracks Europe has a website, and on this website, we showcase our tractor ranges. Remember, again, we make large tractors for agricultural purposes. All the tractors that we are making are above 100 horsepower. So first tractor we have is A double plus power or A plus plus power. The max power is 360 to 420 horsepower, depending on the model. And it, the weight is between 12 to 13.5 tons, large equipment. Then there is A plus power, 240 to 300 horsepower, and the weight is 9 to 11.5 tons. Then there is A power, 120 to 180 horsepower. So the lowest horsepower category that we offer is 120. What if we start to sell tractors in the 80 to 120 horsepower range, or in the 40 to 80 horsepower range? It is something that is in demand. We've seen that in the industry analysis. Small tractors, and in this Preseen also they've mentioned that small compact tractors are gaining popularity. So if I want to increase my market share, obviously I am still prevalent in my large agricultural tractor market. I'm not saying let's exit it, but one growth aspect can be seen as compact small agricultural tractors. So from our industry analysis, we have seen that the major market share is in the 40 to 80 or 40 horsepower category. So should we focus on more lightweight or low power tractors? Product development, understanding costing of a tractor will be important here. P1 syllabus straight away. So we have three major tractor ranges: A power, A plus power, and A double plus. Under these ranges, we have three models for each. So under A power, we have basic, regular, premium. Under A plus, we have basic, regular, premium. Under A plus plus, we have basic, regular, and premium. So three models in each range. As the name suggests, very standard basic is a starter with the lowest max power and the smallest size in each range. It is practical, no frills, but it's still comfortable to get the job done. Then we have regular in terms of max power and size. Cabs are air conditioned, so the cab, the tractor cab where the driver sits, will be air conditioned and will have an adjustable seating. Easy to use driver controls and rear cameras, so a little bit more upgraded version. Then we have a premium version as well with the highest power and the largest size in each range. All models come with air conditioned, deluxe self-adjusting seating to give you the best ride even in the roughest terrain. Ergonomically designed driver controls, so the driver is very comfortable, and cameras which cover all angles. You pay more, you get more. It's as simple as that. So basic, regular, and premium for each category exists. So that's three different power ranges, each with models reflecting three different specifications, making a choice of 9 different tractors, right? Because under A power, you have 3 options: basic, regular, premium. A plus, 3 options. A double plus, 3 options. So total of 9 tractor options the customer has right now. So a small product range, I'll not say a huge product range, small product range, 9 tractors, but with variety of options. So on the website also they're saying a model to suit every farming need. Now this seems like a mission, this seems like a vision for the company, that the company wants to give each farmer the opportunity to buy whatever they want from our range. So we must stay true to this. When you are suggesting something, use that our mission statement or the company's existence or the company wants to produce tractors which suit the need of every farmer. If you include this in your writing, it can have a good inclusion in terms of integration again. So we see that we are offering 9 different products with different prices, different specifications. This shows that our business has many different products. And when different products are being sold, activity-based costing is one costing system that is often suggested, often used. So as we move ahead in the pre-scene, we'll be looking at the cost structures and giving a stronger opinion to you. But right now, because there are different products, activity-based costing is a very important P1 syllabus topic. Also, for a business growing rapidly, we must ensure that the structure and the culture of the organization is set to make sure there are no apprehensions about the business's goals. So a good organizational structure, a good information flow, a good HR system is very important in today's modern business. All of this is part of your E1 syllabus. Every stage link made to E1, P1 and F1. I'm highlighting everything for you. I'm explaining the topics to you. I'm explaining the company to you. It is now your job to spend time and understand it and further let it sink in. That has got us to the end of part 1 of our pre-scene analysis. You'll see that in the first part, we dealt with some major aspects of this pre-scene, and we'll continue to do so in the entire pre-scene, which is over close to 3 hours long. And you'll see that the time passed away very quickly, because when you're interested in something and when we make something interesting for our students, it becomes less of a task and more of something, like learning something that you're enjoying. That's what we try to do through all of our study material. If you've liked our pre-scene, don't waste any time. Sign up to one of our study courses and you can have access to the entire pre-scene analysis discussion with our mock questions, with our top 10 issues, with our study notes. They are fully packed. Once you sign up with us, you don't have to look at anything else, study from anything else, because everything will come from us. If you have any questions, write to us on help@finntutors.com. Just email us and somebody from the team will get back and help you sign up if you're facing any problems or have any questions. Throughout the entire pre-scene, we will ensure that we guide you through each line, each part, and a very detailed financial analysis as well is coming your way deeper into the pre-scene, obviously. So the entire pre-scene has been done in this way, has been done in this detailed way, and we want to make sure you have a positive experience learning your company. Thank you for being here for this first part.